Welcome to Spotlight TV. I'm your host, Emily Zuby, and we have had a lot of guests recently that are going to be featured in our coffee table book of Rockstar Leaders. So you've heard of our next guest quite a bit because we've been talking about the man behind the magic and all the ways he's been documenting the story of Miami Woman of Rock. And I could not be more honored to have our guest, who is Dmitry Zhitov, and is not only a celebrity photographer, an acclaimed filmmaker. He's won many awards. He's an author, man of many, many talents. And we are so happy to have the man behind the magic who's producing our book and will be sharing a lot of his talents. So welcome,
Thank you,
Dimitri.
Emily. Not just man behind the magic. Now I'm in the magic of your wonderful show.
Thank
Love
you.
that. Love the studio and love the vibe here.
Well, your energy, I mean, I have just absolutely adored working with you and everyone that has been photographed by you. You just really do have that magic, that positivity, that energy. And it's just such an honor. You've done so much in your
Thank you so
career.
much.
This
It's still
today,
doing, right? We're still
yes,
doing now the book of leaders.
this is the best is yet to come, I
Yes.
think, so we're going to today is all about you, putting the
Thank you.
spotlight on you, all your accomplishments, your awards, and for you to tell us your story.
Thank you so much. My story started when I was born in Siberia, I think. Siberia, cold Siberia. And when I got to the studio, I was like, oh, it's so cold. It feels like Siberia. It feels like home. So I was born in Siberia many years ago in the forest of Siberia. That's where my parents' house was and still is. And I was surrounded by the beauty of the nature, the colors, the snow, the greenery of the trees. In autumn, we had that fog and the beautiful lake, and we used to make fires in the forest. So that's in my blood, the
Wow.
magic, the beauty of the place where was born and grew up. And when I moved here to Miami about 20 years ago, maybe a little bit more, and when I started creating, I kept that magic in my hat. That's why I love making pictures with smoke machine, with fire, with water, including all these elements of the nature in my photography. So I think that when we become creators, when we grow up, we carry the child in our head. Our child never grows up. We have fun. That's why you said I love your energy. My energy comes, especially elevates when I start creating, because I think that the child gets back and he's having fun creating and enjoying. And when you do something that you love, your energy never goes down.
So true.
Sometimes when you wake up and you don't have a lot of energy, but when you start creating, when you start doing something that you love, you forget about the tiredness. You forget about all the problems. We all have sometimes problems in our lives. We go through things, but when we create, it doesn't exist any longer. We like go to a different planet. So I think that's where the energy comes, positivity, and I think a good vibe comes from.
Where was your first photo shoot? What was that moment where you said to yourself, I'm truly in love with the lens?
I think that when I was a kid, my mom gave me this, old camera, the film
Uh-huh.
camera, the black and white. And when she wanted to learn photography as well, and I was about 10 years old. And when we started shooting, we didn't have a lot of people around, so we were shooting the animals and our family and the kids, like our little neighborhood kids. So that's when I feel that I had a lot of fun. But when I moved to Miami, when I started learning colors, when I started learning, implementing like smoke machines and sand in my photography and using different settings of the camera, when I saw that some of my pictures look like paintings, and some people say, oh, it's Photoshopped. I said, no, it's not Photoshopped. I don't really Photoshop my images. I love creating something right there on the set, studio environment, or even outdoors. So my first memory is when I was a child, when I was about 10, 11 years old, when I saw the picture that I created with my mom.
That's amazing. Let's show some of your work.
Here we go. Look at the fires, the colors, the energy of the people, and they have so much fun. When people come to my photo shoots, they say, I've never been photographed. I feel so shy. It's like, don't worry about that.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry about the result. Just enjoy the process. Because if you think about, oh, how will I end up in the picture? What will happen? It sometimes it might not work because you're too concerned, and you can see that you're concerned about the final look. No, enjoy the present look.
That's
Enjoy the
amazing.
process. Have fun. Be be a child again. In just forget about what you will look like. Enjoy the present. And most of the time it works. I tell them just have fun. Forget about me. We're cool. We're friends here. We're friends on the fun. We're having fun. We're
That's
having a cool friend meeting. That's it.
that's amazing. This one here was one of your most recent,
Yeah, that's
right? Oh, well,
let's talk
yeah.
about the previous one.
Yes.
Can we show the previous one?
Yeah.
That's when I met Emily when she was running Cuba. It was our I think last photo shoot, last shot
SLS.
at
Yeah.
at that hotel, and I was telling you, Emily, I see your energy. I want to capture something cool with you. And we found this nice hallway outside the room. And I was telling you, run, forget about me. Run like you're running from somebody or to somebody. Do you
I
remember
still
that
remember that
moment?
moment. I'm like, I know how to run. No worries
We
there.
had a lot of fun, and that face, like Lady Bond running, to save people, to rescue people.
That's so funny. That's so funny. And then the most recent one, I just saw this on your social.
Yes.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful. Ali V, she's a singer, songwriter. I met her recently through her father. Their studio based in Miami downtown, and she's a wonderful person. We had a photo shoot, and our photo shoot lasted about 6 or 7 hours. We planned to shoot for 1 hour. We extended it, and we enjoyed it. And I tried to capture her stage personality. Her stage personality, her songs. We played her songs, and when I photo shoot, I love playing music. If it's a singer songwriter or a DJ, we'll usually play their music or the music that inspires them.
That's
If it's not a singer songwriter, we just play the music that will bring the vibe up and will bring that inner beauty outside. The person is beautiful, and sometimes when we don't bring that out, it doesn't really show, no matter how beautiful the person is from the outside. So
and
we need to bring that
you have the
inner
energy.
beauty and double it up from the outside.
And you know what I love too is just working with you as we photograph these leaders is how you can even in one moment take something very impromptu and use it as a filter or prompt or I mean I think of specifically at Sylvester Cancer Institute. I mean, there was an environment where we're shooting Dr. Nimer for the Book of Leaders and Desert Horse Grant, and you took a test tube and used it as a filter behind the camera.
Yeah,
And
as a
I,
little
a
as a little
little
prism to
uh,
create the flair, to make it a little bit
so
different.
your mind is always working right
Yes.
within that environment to be
Yes,
able
yes.
to.
I love it. When I've never been to that environment, that lab, because I never seen the lab before, and I was like, we need to do something different. We need to create maybe a flair in the picture, natural, not in Photoshop. So those prism, those glasses, I love using and placing them in front of the camera, or a flower, or even a water bottle to create some cool effect.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let's talk about some of the other things because I have this beautiful coffee table book here that you produced, and I'm just going to go ahead and show it to the camera so that you can see it. It's the Faces of Cuba, and when we were looking at doing our coffee table book, and I looked at this, and I'm like, this is the man for the job.
This is my
So
baby. This is my first photography book, coffee table book. When I went to Cuba in 2015 with a project to do a documentary, I decided I'm going to take some pictures of people, of colors, of layers, of animals, of just whatever I see and whoever I see, of children, like the school kids, right? And every picture is very personal. Like this lady, I met her on the streets of Cuba. Her name is Hugalina,
uh-huh.
and she invited us for coffee. And she didn't speak any English. I didn't speak any Spanish, but she was so open, like a grandmother. She gave us a hug and she blessed us. Her little wooden house was
That's
outside
sweet.
by the ocean, and
Uh-huh.
it was just beautiful. The colors, the layers, and people invited me to their homes and welcome. Cuban people are very open, generous, and extremely genuine. So that's what I wanted to show in my book. And not some people say, "Oh, why didn't you show the tyranny and the agony they go through?" I said, I didn't go there for that. I went
Right.
there to show the warm hearts of Cuban people.
Well, you're a joy spreader, so I think that
Why would you
that
show,
that
something negative when there's so many positive
I love
things?
this.
And even in life, when something bad happening, people try to focus on bad things, but I say there's so many good things out there, you know.
And
Just find something good, focus on that, and all this negativity will just disappear, go away. It'll get better because
you're
everything gets
you're
better.
such a storyteller, and I can tell you that as we work on our film and the making of the history behind Miami Women Who Rock and everything that we're doing. I mean, uh I couldn't trust a story that's been 15 years. This is such a big part of my soul and such a culmination of years and years of doing this. Let's talk about some of the awards you've gotten, some of the films. I mean, because I don't know how you do it all, but you do.
I love doing that. My everything started from broadcasting school in Miami. I was a yoga teacher, I full-time yoga teacher. I didn't see the future in teaching yoga because yoga is fun, amazing, it's healthy, it's great. I love yoga. But for me, I wanted something else. And I was in a car driving from a yoga class, from teaching a class, and I heard an advertisement about broadcasting school. They started they were doing enrollment, and I always wanted to be either a reporter or in front of the camera, doing something creative and fun. And I called them, I went to the meeting, I enrolled to broadcasting school. We had many classes, and one of the classes was camera classes. They showed us a few tricks and tips how to film with the camera, and I fell in love with storytelling. How you can create a story with a camera, either photography or videos. So I bought a camera and I started making my first not even a documentary, just filming. And I edited a little piece and I showed it to my teacher. And she said, Dimitri, think big about that. Don't just don't just share it in social media and that's it. Even though sharing social media is great, but do something big with this project. So I completed a documentary. It's about entertainers. It's called South Beach on Heels, about Palace Bar, about drag queens. So I edited a feature documentary and I was thinking, I'll just share it to YouTube. But then a teacher again said, do film festivals. And I never heard about, I've heard about the film festivals, but I didn't know what to do, how to submit my films. And I submitted to several film festivals and it was accepted. And I started going to film festivals. And every film festival, our film was winning awards. We won over like 40 or 50 awards. I even lost the count. It
That's
was
amazing.
amazing from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Milan, London, many times in Los Angeles. I was just traveling and enjoying film festivals. Key West Film Festival, it won the best documentary, and getting all these awards. It was fun meeting people, inspiring people with your documentary. Because at film festivals, there's a screening, people go, then they ask you questions. And I remember one man came to me, it was, I think, in Key West, and he was crying after the film.
Oh,
And he said, I'm so grateful to you because I never understood my son. I was always thinking that he's so different, that he should be normal, that life will not accept him. He will lose so many opportunities. I'm so grateful to you that now I understand that you should be different. You
wow.
should not be like everybody else, and you should be whoever you are. And one lady sent me a letter that her daughter used to love wearing jeans and, like boy clothes. And she said, you have to wear dresses, you have to be like a girl. And after watching my documentary, she said, I accepted my daughter who she is.
Wow.
So even if you touch one or two people with your project, with your film, or with your show, with your interview, that means so much. That's why I realized that filmmaking, storytelling, telling the stories, what it is, and opening up maybe somebody's minds and sharing somebody else's story. It's such a great thing to do. That's why
What
I love
what
filmmaking.
advice would you give to your younger self? Because now hearing your story, I can picture that 10-year-old. I mean, knowing you, what advice what advice would you give to your
I
younger
would say
self?
don't be a perfectionist. Don't be a perfectionist and do whatever you're doing and have fun with it and share it and don't be afraid. Because a lot of people, they have some ideas, but they're afraid that they'll be judged. Because first of all, you live in your life. You don't live for somebody else. And if you want to share something, go ahead and share it. And if it touches somebody, great. If it doesn't touch anybody, one day it will. So keep doing what you're doing. If you don't know what you love doing, just do many different things and then you'll find it. Oh, it'll find you.
I love that. And you've now photographed a good portion of our leaders,
Yes.
you know,
And
from Lori Jennings to, Dr. Julio, Frank, and I mean, so many. So, what are some of the takeaways that you've gotten from just being, with the camera with some of these leaders? This is a leadership legacy
oh,
initiative.
yes.
This is, I tell everyone, when they ask me about the project, I said, this is really about, we've honored so many people and done so many things, but we wanted something to leave behind.
Exactly.
And so you meeting them, what have been some of the, I don't know, impressions, lessons,
First of
takeaways?
all, I'm learning so much from them. And I think this project is so beautiful and inspiring. And it will inspire so many other people. If it inspires us, can you imagine, like, when we put all these people together in one book, how much is there for the audience, the viewer? So I love learning different things, like not to give up, to find whatever you love doing, to enjoy what you're doing, to inspire others, to be strong, not to be afraid. So all these little things you learn from all these wonderful people, and if you put it all together in one project, it's going to be so amazing.
That's incredible.
And have
And
fun. They all have fun at the photo shoots,
they
right?
do.
Remember the dress when Lori Jennings,
Oh, that
she,
was
yeah, the dress, and I asked your husband to get the leaf blower and blow it on the
he's
dress.
a real trooper.
Yeah,
I
can you
mean,
imagine, like, yeah, when you think that, yes, she has a huge name, she's a leader in the community, and she's having so much fun with the leaf blower and the husband,
beautiful.
and she just forgot about, being
She's beautiful inside out. It's like,
exactly.
I
Yes.
was looking at some of the photos. I'm like, there's not a bad one. I don't even want to think about, coming to the
Yes.
picking of the photos and all that, because that's, but you've also been photographing some major celebrities here and have had so many people. I mean, I went to a photo shoot and they were like really amazing talent. I've met so many people through you. So
And I met
let's
so many people through you. Thank you so much.
let's talk about
W-
some of those people that you've photographed recently.
Recently, we've been working. I flew to Los Angeles and I photographed some of the actors who are in reality shows for Netflix and for their own portfolios. I photographed some singers. There's a big band that Simon Fuller, a huge producer from Los Angeles, he is producing that band. It's called Now United. So I've been following them. Uh, a couple of years ago and photographed and did the music videos and the reality shows and photographed them in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi. We went to Brazil, to Mexico, to Los Angeles. So we had a lot of fun and I love capturing reality. That's why I love documentaries and reality shows. Because not most of the reality shows are real, but I love working on them because when I shoot, I try to shoot reality. Yes.
That's so we both have, you introduced me to Susan Ford Collins
Yes.
and
Love
what
Susan Ford Collins,
love
the
her
author. Yes.
and love all her books. But when I think of The Joy of Success in particular,
Oh,
what would you say are some of your secrets to success?
secrets to success. Don't be afraid, first of all, because when people are afraid, that builds a lot of shields and it just holds you in. So I think the number one, don't be afraid. Be bold. Be fun. Be open, and be consistent. Don't give up.
It's
Because when people are not consistent, they try to do something and sometimes it doesn't work and they give up. But what if they tried it one more time
that's a
or
that's
two more times?
that's great.
I
Great.
think if you love what you're doing, keep doing it.
Yeah, and also too, I mean, it's so funny we have all these honorees, and I always tell them like, look, I need a good headshot, and even just a good headshot. Sometimes trying to get, people get a little afraid to
Yes.
get a new headshot, it's always like, "Oh, I wanna lose, a little bit more weight, or I wanna do this, or I wanna do that." So, I have seen you get some of the people in the studio and really just have fun with it and be able to capture really the essence of who they are.
Headshots are so important, and I'm so happy we did your headshots, Lori Jennings headshots. And yes, I agree with you. Some people are afraid and they're procrastinating. It's like, I need to, like, you don't need to lose weight. You look great the way you are. That's another thing about success. You have to love yourself. Because when you don't love yourself, it projects. Because I think that number one, you have to fall in love with yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you cannot love others, right? You just, if when you love yourself, it projects. And sometimes, yes, we all have imperfections. Nobody is perfect. Even supermodels, right? They have imperfections, but they love themselves. I hope so. I hope so. And when people say, "Oh, I need to do this. I need to lose weight. I need to do something. I don't need. I cannot be ready for the photo shoot now." Just go for that.
Uh-huh.
Just go for that and get your nice headshot.
I
And
love
you'll
it.
get your nice headshot because I take a lot of shots, and from all of this, you can get at least one that you love.
And we haven't even mentioned all the magazines that you shoot for, and I started off the year with you on the
Yes.
cover of Miami Vibes magazine, and, just trying to show that here, and,
Look how much fun you have
but
it.
the photos, we were, with FYI Yachts, who's, Ralph Navarro was,
Mhm.
on the show, and FYI Yachts, so we got to do all these really fun
Emily is a
shoots
captain.
as a captain with the captain's log, and, the styling, I mean, everything. It was just, so
The whole team
beautiful,
was
but
fun, and you were fun.
so
And
so, you've shot for, Miami Vibes magazine and do a lot of magazine
we
work
did
as
some,
well
oh
in
yeah,
addition
some
to
shots for
everything else.
Bazaar, L'Officiel. Haven't done Vogue yet, but it's on the way.
Coming. It's coming.
Exactly. So a lot of
Let's
Russian
do it together.
a lot of Russian magazines, and they still sometimes ask me to do photo shoots and send it to them to Russia, and some European magazines, and yeah, in Dubai we shot for magazines as well.
What do you see in the future? So, like 10 years from now, we're sitting down here because I'm not stopping anytime.
No,
You know me,
exactly.
right? Everyone's
Yes.
like, let's not even talk about. But what do you see in your future in terms of some of those bucket list projects that are already? Because I know you are already stirring.
Exactly. Yeah. Continue with my documentaries. Continue with photo shoots and coffee table books, exhibitions. I love exhibitions. So definitely I'm going to doing that, and more exhibitions and more coffee table books and more films, and maybe, maybe something feature, maybe a feature film. You never know.
Yeah,
From documentaries you can show a true story in a feature film. That's what I
love
would
that.
love to do one day.
Well,
And I
we.
will.
We're definitely doing a film.
Exactly. We are.
2025 is, on the
It
agenda. So
is.
I have you for that. And as you think about um, the coffee table book and the book signing, because, we hope to release this.
Hmm.
Well, we're going to release the book at 50 Shades of Pink on November 8th, and then have a book signing, Books and Books, or, early 2025. So you're going to be a very busy
Exactly.
man
We're going
next
to be
year for
busy,
sure.
busy.
I love it.
Busy is good. It keeps your mind busy, but busy in a good way, right?
Right.
In a happy way.
Well, you have a real routine. I know I'm an early morning person, so I know that a certain hour you're working out and you have all that. What do you think are the secrets to, like, just really success in keeping that energy not only within yourself and positivity, but also your health? Because I know that you are a real health. A lot of things about health, and you'll be the first one. I'll have a homeopathic, you're like, have some oregano, or
Drink
do this,
this,
or
yeah, boil the
yeah,
cabbage.
yeah. And Miami Woman Rock, one of our basic premises is rock your health, rock the world, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're not healthy physically, you're not healthy mentally, right? Or vice versa. So it's the whole package. You know, doing yoga, Pilates, riding your bicycle, spending some time in the sun, going for a walk. If you have a dog, go for a walk with your dog. Spend some time in the park. Waking up and having some maybe a healthy breakfast. and positive thinking as well, because our mind, when I was taking yoga classes, trained for a yoga teacher, they told us that our mind can hold only one thought at a time. And if you think about it, it's true, right? You cannot, like, if you think, okay, pink elephant, so only you cannot think about a black horse when you think about pink elephant. So the same with thinking. When you have a negative thought, replace it with a positive thought.
Love
Think
that.
about something happy, 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 and that's it. Your brain will start positive thinking. And of course, without healthy body, there's no healthy mind. Exercise, do some stretching. Like I see your stories in Instagram. You run all the time. You run, you do
Every morning.
exercise every morning, and it does help. It increases your dopamine level.
I love running on the golf course, and part of
Yes.
it is not so much that I run a long distance, but that I look at just everything. I love sunrise, and when I see that sun coming up and glistening, the green looks greener, the
Yes.
blue looks bluer,
Hmm.
and it's just a God moment for me, and I get that gratitude shot because the space and it's very hard to feel gratitude and feel negativity because you can't at the same time.
Yes.
So a grateful heart is
Be
a
grateful
a
for
peaceful heart.
anything, yeah, for everything you get, because a lot of people don't have it. And people who don't have it, they have to be grateful for what they have.
Yeah. So it's so true.
It's never depression is such a huge problem because people get caught up on negative things, especially these days. All these wars, all these political issues and problems, and there's so many problems, but we cannot just yes, we have to work to solve those problems, but we cannot constantly think about negative things.
Thank you. Well, this is a time where we give you a chance to give your commercial on here. So if someone's out there wants to work with you, how they reach you, what you do, and
Instagram, I'm
this is
so
this is
active
your
on
your
Instagram.
your 60-second commercial.
Yes, guys, go to my Instagram, Dimitri Zhitov underscore photo, and follow me. Follow get my stories. A lot of the times I give good, healthy tips, and of course I promote myself, my services, my photography, my videography. If you're a musician, you need a music video. I love creating music videos, and they're so cool and fun and real, and they just show your personality or the personality you created as an artist. And of course, headshots. If you need a headshot, everybody needs a headshot. I'm here for you. I have a great team of makeup artists and stylists, and whatever you need, guys, I'm here for you. Or if you want just to chat about something, upcoming project, if you're working on the coffee table book, if you have an idea for a documentary, I'm here for you.
And you're on all social. So
Yeah,
Facebook,
Facebook,
Instagram.
Instagram, TikToks. You can just Google my name, Dimitri Zhitov, and all this information and the links will pop up.
That's so true. And it's so funny because every time we go in a room, I mean, we've documented so many things. And
Yes.
one of the things I'm excited about is having a multi-digital layer to our book and having a QR code. And,
Yes. The
it's
sounds.
a very ambitious project on our part. Like this book is kind of taken over my life a little bit. Everyone's like, what? I go, no, I mean, this is a priority because we're on deadline here.
I remember what I said, that we just need to enjoy the process. And you are enjoying the process.
I am.
And if
really
you
am.
enjoy the process, the final result is always on top.
Well, and what's really wonderful is I always say that sometimes in networking that we tend to network like a speed networking, it's like, oh, a car, that this kind of very fast roadway, like being on 95 and
Yes.
meeting
Hmm.
people. What this has allowed me to do, and I really thank you for that, is to get to know these leaders on a much more personal level. I mean, in many of them, we've been in their homes and,
Yes.
met
Hmm.
their families or, gotten to know their passions. I mean,
Hmm.
whether it's race cars or horses, I
Courses.
mean, boating, what they really enjoy. So, to capture the lifestyles and the fabric of leadership is just, I feel so blessed to be able to do this and to capture all of this with you.
It is, and it is enjoyable, right?
It is absolutely
As
enjoyable.
you said, yes, it's not easy because you have to, you know, put so many things together, but It's fun.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's so wonderful having you on again. We've been talking to Dmitry Zhitov.
Yes.
I said it right.
Zh doesn't exist here in the United
No, it
States.
doesn't. But he is the man behind the magic, and such an incredibly talented individual. You know how to reach him. Thank you so much for
Thank you
being
so much,
on
Emily.
Spotlight. And we will see you next week. And thank you for joining us. Have a